Anna Williams from Salary Transparent Street. Today we're in Boston. Let's go ask some people what they do and how much they make.
I'm a senior software engineer,
And how long have you been doing it?
15 years now.
15 years, wow.
Yeah.
And how much do you make?
I make around 150.
Nice.
That is the base.
Do you know how much your total compensation looks like with all of that included?
I can say around 200,000.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you feel well compensated?
Pretty good because in New Hampshire it's tax free, so it's pretty much good when you make that much. Yeah.
What are the pros and cons of the role, best and worst parts?
So the company I work for is very flexible.
Great.
So that way I can work remote, and the work-life balance is good. I can spend time with my family too.
Yeah. What about the cons?
Sometimes it gets a little busy. So basically, I'm in the financial thing. So during the tax year, it can get busy.
Do you have a relevant degree, like a software engineering degree, or what kind of degree did you have to get into it?
So I did my engineering, but back in India.
Okay.
But then when I came here, I realized that people don't need to have a degree, as they can go online and learn. And then I was actually helping my friend teach kids, technical stuff and how to get land a job.
Awesome.
And I saw many of them started with a basic project and they were getting into IT jobs.
Any career advice for others that might be interested in doing what you do? What would you tell them?
Find people who are interested in meetups where they talk about technical and learning and how to get into IT jobs. And I have seen these communities really help you get in the company.
Do you recommend any certificates for people?
I think you should start with a base project. But I have known that if you want to grow in your career, many companies look for AWS certificate.
I love it. Thank you so much.
I work at a jewelry store right down the block there. Found it on Indeed, needed a job. I make $19 an hour, which I feel like is pretty fair.
What are the best and worst parts of your job?
Best parts, have really amazing coworkers. We have a ton of dogs that come in, which is a lot of fun. So we have our usual dog customers. Worst parts, there's challenging customers here and there.
What career advice do you have for others who might be interested in your role?
Career advice, just use it as a growing experience. There's always stuff to learn that'll help you in other careers. So that's what I'm doing now.
This fall, Indeed is providing free tools, career guidance, and a new curated job board featuring highly rated employers to help you find better work in the retail industry. There are tons of opportunities available, and some of the salaries might surprise you. To explore retail jobs near you, visit the link in our bio.
I am a journeyman in local 1044, which is Glazers and Glassworkers.
How much do you make in your role?
In your pocket, it's over $50 an hour, but the total package is like $100.
Do you feel well compensated?
Yeah, absolutely.
How long have you been doing it?
Doing glass, 7 years, union, 2 years now.
Very cool. How did you get into it? Did you get a trade, degree?
No, I got a job at a family-owned glass shop and cutting glass, and then I realized installing was more money, so I got a job at a non-union shop. And then COVID, actually, they were looking for people to work because nobody wanted to come back from work. And I just got in touch with an organizer, and they got me in.
What are the best and worst parts of your job?
The best parts is the variety of things that you do, and you're moving around. The benefits are awesome. The worst parts is the drama and the petty things, It's kind of like a high school at the shop sometimes.
Any career advice for others that might be interested in doing what you do? How do you break into it? What words of advice do you have?
Yeah, you could just ask anybody for an entry-level position if you want to learn something, but trades have apprenticeship programs and no debt. You don't need student loans. You make money as you learn, so it's good for anybody that wants to work with their hands, don't mind getting dirty. Also, the flip side, you want to try to stay involved with the union and do the things they want you to do, go to the events, and because then if times are lean, those are the people that are going to get you working.
I'm currently a personal trainer.
How much do you make in your role?
Yeah, so it kind of varies on how many clients I have at any given moment, but anywhere from 48, 50K upwards of 65.
Do you feel well compensated?
Yeah, I do. The more clients you get, the more you can make, so you can go upwards of 200. It just really depends. I'm just starting out. I graduated college 2 years ago. I was working a corporate job as an office coordinator, and that I was making 50K. And I just felt kind of stuck there. I didn't like being in an office, sitting at a desk.
America.
Yeah, there wasn't much room for growth, and it just wasn't my passion. So I jumped into training. I've only been here for about a month now.
Nice.
So I'm newer to it, but I'm loving it.
What did you need to break into it?
You do have to get certified as a trainer, so I did do that while I was working the office job. But I also just grew up, my dad was a trainer. I've been doing it, working on myself for almost 13, 14 years now. So just experience and the certification as well.
What are the best and worst parts of your job? What do you like? What don't you like?
The best part, I would say, is having the freedom to kind of create a schedule. You are kind of at the mercy of clients sometimes, but definitely the ability to have a break through the day, work out myself, shower at the gym, anything like that. And just helping people, obviously. It's a huge part of why I wanted to do it. Worst parts, I would say, probably working sometimes super early and super late on the same day. Sometimes I'm up at 4 a.m. and I don't get home till 11 p.m. So it can be a tough day.
I'm a maintenance technician. I've been in the maintenance field for over about 15 years.
15 years,
Yeah.
wow. And how much do you make in your current role?
I make about 70.
Do you feel well compensated?
I'm well compensated because, I'm here, it's easy work, good money.
How is your work-life balance? Like flexible, or are you working
Very
overtime?
Very flexible.
good.
Not a lot of overtime. Occasionally I would have to come in for like emergency calls,
Emergency.
but rarely.
What are the best and worst parts of the role? What do you like? What don't you like?
On call, but I don't get a lot of on calls.
Okay,
but
good.
the best part is just the whole environment, the settings. The staff and everyone that I work with. I love it. I should have been here a long time ago, but hey.
What career advice would you share with anyone who's interested in doing what you do, or what have you learned in general that you would share?
Knowledge is the key. Everyone out there who's looking for a career, whatever your career is, oh yeah! Everybody have different path, so you have to find your path and just work towards that.
I'm a dog walker,
How much do you make doing that?
like 50 to 100K.
Do you feel well compensated?
Yeah,
How did you get into it?
through a friend, a neighbor. She owned a grooming service, so she needed a walker. And
How long have you been doing this?
like 10 years.
You do this full time or part time?
I have another job, but I do this
Gotcha.
like
On the side.
full time ish.
How many hours a week are you working? Like good work-life balance, I'm guessing?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's flexible for other things.
What are the best and worst parts?
You get a lot of exercise. You don't have to deal with too many people. Every day's kind of different. The worst parts are weather,
Weather.
if there's severe weather.
What career advice would you share with anyone who might be interested in doing this as well? What would you share with them?
Like people skills, being able to interact with the clients. Dog skills, definitely.
skills.
Don't get into this if you don't like dogs. Definitely networking. If you don't have a strong network, then you're not going to have any clients.
Great, thank you so much.
I'm a startup founder of Fintech community app.
What's it called? Tell us about it.
Yeah, so it's Renovest. It's a marketplace for online messaging communities that teach financial literacy, investing, building businesses. So it's like the app store for chat rooms, pretty much.
How much money have you made so far, or do you have a salary? Tell us about it.
Very, very funny. I don't think you make money as a startup founder starting off. More money leaving than coming out.
How long have you been doing this?
A little bit over a year. So prior, I was in sales. When I was doing sales, account executive, it was around 120,000.
What are the best and worst parts of your job?
Being able to build something that will be really impactful for individuals or creating, wealth, right? Exactly what you guys kind of do. So just being able to build in a community like Boston is one of the top cities for startups.
And
finance. The hard part is, trying to raise money.
Any career advice for others who might be interested in doing what you do? What would you share?
Individuals who's like just graduating like college, I think that's like a perfect time to like take a risk. You have all your 20s to be able to figure life out. If you're thinking about doing it right now, 30s, 40s, just prepare for, kind of that transition and so forth. The app is Renovest app. So RENAVEST app.
I work in car sales,
I work in real estate.
How long have you both been doing it?
2.5 years.
2 months. I had a career change recently, so
What did you do before?
I was a chef.
What made you change?
We want to start a family, and we just wanted something with a little bit more flexibility in hours.
How much do you make in your current roles?
100 to 150K.
Do you feel well compensated?
I do, yeah. I wasn't expecting to make that much in car sales.
And what about you?
$3,000 to $4,000 a month.
Do you feel well compensated?
Yeah, for sure.
What's your educational background? What did you have before you started?
I went to culinary school. I have a bachelor's in culinary arts and food service management.
Hotel management.
What career advice would you share with anyone interested in doing what you do, or what have you learned along the way that you would share?
Keep trying different things if it's not your career, kind of switch careers, The more you switch, the more you kind of learn and the more you'll get paid. If you're kind of stuck in one role, it's, you have to be there for a very, very long time.
Yeah, I would say try new things, but don't settle, but also commit. Like work at least a year at a place. Job hopping is fine, but you're not going to get the most out of a job if you work there for 6 months or 3 months and you don't give it the full commitment. At the end of the day, you are the most important person and the company will survive without you.